Hello guys, welcome to my channel EduTech. Today we are going to discuss about what should be the DBT repo structure, repository structure or folder structure to create our DBT project. So in previous videos we discuss about what is DBT, what are the applications of DBT, and if you want to do the local setups, how we can do that. So in one of the video, like previous video, I have discussed there are commands, dbt commands, using which we can create this the folder structure which you are seeing here on my screen. So this folder structure, right, all the folders, analysis, logs, macros, model, these all the folders we no need to create manually. So dbt have the schema. Using that we can, if we execute those commands, we will automatically get this folder structure. So what is the use of this folder structure? So what are the best practices to follow while working on the dbt project? So that we will discuss in this project, in this video today. So yeah, so please stay tuned till the end, and we will go through each folder one by one. Okay. So we will start with logs folder. Analysis we no need to start for now. It's so we'll go with logs. So inside logs folder, what it will contain? It will contain the all the detailed information about our logs. So like for example, if we can see a highlighted lines here, right? So whatever is getting printed here after executing dbt commands, that all the logs will comes under the logs folder, logs.log file. So see, if we can see here, we can see all, but it's like it will append all the logs the as many times as we can execute. So all the logs will get appended here, so we'll see all the things here. Okay. Then next folder is macro. So what macros is? Macros is kind of what we can say, it's kind of common functions we can create here. So maybe we have SQL function and all function, right? So this kind of here we can create a common functions using the combination of SQL as well as the some predefined conditional or iteration operator. Like we can use for loop. With that for loop we can write a combination of our that statement and our SQL. We can write that, like if you want to do the for loop, we can add for loop there with the SQL queries. We can add if condition statement inside that one, so that way we can implement. So for example, I have created one macros. So this is kind of function we have created, this syntax for that, like end of macros and start macros. Inside that, whatever we write, that will kind of come as a common code. So here what we are doing, so we have created one macro. So this check call, this kind of function, right, I told. So inside that, it's accepting the parameters the way like we create python inside python functions, that way it is like that. So it will be like this code is like create a function, and inside that we have written a SQL code, right? So inside SQL code, what we are doing, whatever the column parameter we are getting, so just taking value of that one. If it is null, then give the default value, or else null. That's it. So we can call this in any of the SQL queries which we are using in our project. Okay. Then next is the model folder. So model is the main folder, and most of our times we will spend in this folder only. Why? Because the all our transformation logic, or all the business logic, all the queries and everything, whatever we are doing, transformation also, that will everything will be here only in this model folder. So model folders can contain folder inside folder. So for example, I have three folders here, like bronze, example, and silver. Okay. So the bronze folder what I created, so suppose for example we have one project where we are extracting data from the source. Then we are doing transformation, and then at the end we are loading the data in our target database or warehouse. So the way what we can do here, so models, inside models, bronze will be like connect to source and bring the data from source, right? Then silver will be, we can keep silver, inside silver all the transformation logic. So how it will be, so inside each folder, in this model, each individual file will be .sql file. For example, in example folder I have created this all the files, right? So this will, each file we call it as model. Okay. So each SQL file will be model, and it will contain select statement at the end, all the logic, but at the end we should have select statement. So based on the end select statement, what dbt will do, dbt will create either view or a table in the target database. Okay, in the database which we are specifying here, that will get temporary table or view. So how dbt knows like whether I need to create for suppose this file, my second dbt model, how dbt knows like I need to create only table or views? So that we can discuss in later part. Okay. So we are good till this model. Then next is the seed. So seed is kind of like folder where we can keep our static data. So for example, in our project we have some static data we need to use. So instead of keeping that static data into the table, we can create a csv files and put that csv file here. So these seeds will contain csv files. So each time we can use that csv file data to process our other model, or all the models which are in the data. Okay. Then next folder is snapshot. So I would say snapshot and models both are kind of same, means both folder content or SQL file as a entity. Okay. So like here each model will be our SQL file. Same in snapshot also we'll have CSV SQL file, but only difference is inside model the files which we are creating here, it will be kind of like every time it will follow S3 type 1. It will directly, suppose this model we have created, it will go the database, it will replace existing data and insert new data. That is what is happening. It will not follow any other uh, what we can strategies like say SCD 1 or 2 or etc. So but in snapshot if you can go, so we have discussed right one project example. So we have bronze layer, silver layer. Bronze will be to extract data and silver will to do our transformation as per the business logic. But we have third layer, that is gold layer. That is actually our data warehouse where we need to put the data, and there we are following, if suppose we are following S3 type 2, so that kind of SQL file we can keep here. So inside model if we keep that, so what will happen? So snapshot, inside snapshot, so what it will do, it will follow S3 type 2. So either it will insert the data or it will update the data. So that way we can keep those files that like when we want to load the data in target layer, that we will keep it in snapshot. So there are some configuration we need to put. So once we will start our hands on, then we can discuss like what configuration we need to keep, how this snapshot will decide whether we need to go for update and insert, how we will implement the S3 type 2. That we'll discuss later. Okay. Then third is the target. So what target is like, whenever we are running any command, right? SQL DBT command. So whatever the SQL files we have in model, so those all the SQL file first DBT internally will compile that file. Compile means what it will do. So for example, I showed that one of the micro I have created. So I call that micro here. If you can see that check column. So we have this city. Inside city I have used two columns. One is ID with one value and null as a name column. Okay. So what we are doing, we are using that this way we need to call that particular function. So this is kind of jinja syntax. So we will create one video on jinja syntax, what it is. So based on that you will understand what is jinja. So this way, right? So inside SQL if you now want to call like Python style code, so that we can go with this way using jinja. So here see inside SQL we have call in between this jinja, use jinja and calling this part, this function. This function will like take this name as a value from this column, and it will update that value to like as per our logic. So it will give test value that logic. So this macro we have created. So where we were on this target folder, right? So what target will do, it will compile the query. So if you can see micro, so whatever the reference we are using, so in our macro we have that code to convert that, if it is null then test value and all. So this part actually stored in micro, but what compile did, compile bring that all the reference and create actual query, so that whole query will get executed on database, right? So that way it did that way. So same way like other place also we will see complete query, actual query, and run will be what is the final query this DBT will execute. So here if you can see, so here DBT is creating the view. Okay. For second model it is creating table, transient table. Okay. Means temporary table. In Snowflake we have transients concept. Okay. So how DBT knows like whether to go with transient table or go with the view, that is we can discuss later. Then we have test folder. Test fold is like we can create a DBT test cases here. Test cases means like, so for example here, okay, this is one test case file we have. So we can create a test case file here, and this test folder will contain generic test cases. Like suppose I have three models and I want to execute same test case in all three models. So what I'll create here a generic test case that will be combination of that same jinja, Python and SQL, and that we can call it here. So for now we have DBT predefined test cases. Like here if you can see, we have for two models we have two files, right? First and model. So both the files we keep same, but if we want we can create separate file for each model as well. Actually that is better to create separate file, single file for each model, like .sql .ml for each one, .sql .ml. So here if you can see first one, So here we have name of the model. So this is the name of the model first, this one. Okay, and then below we have description and columns. So what we are doing, we are checking here. So like name, id column. Okay, for that what we are checking, whether that column is unique, value is unique or not null, that we are checking. So if any of this will not match, then dbt will throw error. So that is what we are checking. So instead of before loading data in table, we are, before only we are cross verifying whether our data is correct or not, so that we are avoiding to uh, debug the error. So we don't need to, no need to debug anything. Here only we will get to know like whether our data is correct or wrong or right. Okay, so this all that common db test case will comes under the test folder. And rest all from below we can check two files, one is project.yaml and profile.yaml. So first we'll see profile.yaml. So this will contain our complete database details. Like for example, the way we are connecting database, right? It will be here. So I'm connecting to Snowflake. So this is the profile name, DBT project, DBT setup underscore test. This account, this Snowflake account, then yeah, this how I have taken this. You can watch my previous video like local setup, creating the trial version for Snowflake. There I have specified everything on this one. Okay, so this is our database we have created. Then our password, like, then role is the main thing. So we have given account admin as our his own account. Then schema and thread. And main thing is of dbt is like, suppose we have these three models we have, right? Three models we have ran. So it's like dbt internally do parallelism. So I have given one thread, so this will run one by one. But if I give thread as a three, so all three will run parallelly. Okay, so that way I mean it will be kind of little bit performance it will give us. Then user and then compute warehouse we need to specify. Okay, so then we come back to the main file, that is dbt project.yaml. So this project.yaml is the main entry point of the any of the dbt project which we are creating. So this complete folder dbt project setup is our dbt project, and inside that we have this project.yaml file. So when we are starting dbt run command, so that first it will come to this file, then it will redirect from here that all the references which are useful. Okay, so here if you can see, first this is related to this project, this project name, dbt project setup. Okay, then we have profile, this profile name. So where this name will be, so from here it took this profile name. So it will redirect this profile to that particular place. So that the dbt credentials will use to connect database using this profile name. Then we have all the other folders which are there inside our project, like model folder, then analysis, test, seeds, micro, all the folder path here. uh, we saw, right, in model folder we have some child folder as well. So we no need to specify those folder. We can just give the parent folder which are on this level, dbt project level, all the folders are there. Those all references we need to put here. Those mostly all will come as a by default, no need to give here. The next is a cleanup. So what cleanup is it is, so using dbt space clean command, using this what it will do, whichever the folder we will give here, it will clean everything from that folder, it will remove all the files. So for example, we have target and dbt package, these two folders, right? So target we have this many files, right? So what I will do, I'm going to execute that command. Okay, dbt clean. So what will happen, it will clean everything from these two folders. So we don't have dbt dot package, dbt underscore package folder, but we have dbt the target folder. So let this run. So once it will be done, then it will remove everything from this. Okay, so now see, target folder, it remove everything, only compile folder empty, run folder empty, remaining everything cleaned up. But if we execute again dbt underscore run command, it will again bring back everything because it's kind of re-executing everything, right? This way it will do. Then okay, so till this part I guess we are good, right? So we have covered everything. So now in the next video, yeah, before jumping this video, please watch my previous videos there, because there I have given all the required setups and everything to do the local hands-on, because that is the main for us to go forward. Okay, so till now we have covered all required things which we need for the our hands-on purpose. So now from the next video onwards, we will start slowly we'll create one small uh, poc or mini project kind of things, and there we will implement all our dbt concepts one by one. So we will see like how we can pass the parameters, how we can create those layers, bronze layer, silver layers, how we can call that sequentially, right? Like first bronze should run, then silver should run. That sequence we will see what commands we need to use, how to pass that. Everything we'll cover in the next videos one by one. So please, if you're new on my channel, so please uh, do like, share, and subscribe my channel. So the way we will expand our community, and we'll grow technically. Okay, so that will be helpful for us also. So please watch my previous videos, and then yeah, uh, we will see next video. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video. So till the time, okay, bye bye. Thank you for watching the video.